You're listening to Drinks and a Movie with your host, Rudy. Spoiler alert.
It's a bad time, this time of year.
How many times is he gonna tell this story?
Oh, let him tell it. I love fairy tales.
This ain't no fairy tale, little girl. If you don't take it seriously, you're a fool!
The first Valentine's dance in 20 years has to be something special.
Look, Landers, you gotta get a lot of exercise if you're gonna grapple with Gretchen.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got a Valentine for her that she's never gonna forget. Right to the heart, huh?
In this town on Valentine's Day, everybody loses their heart.
Roses are red, violets are blue. One is dead, and so are you.
It can't be happening again.
Stop!
It can't be happening again.
What's going on over in Valentine Bluffs? It looks like Harry Warden's back in town.
It happened once. It happened twice. Cancel the dance or it'll happen twice.
In the town of Valentine Bluffs, there are many ways to die. Take your pick. My Bloody Valentine.
All right, Drinks and Movie Podcast. Yo, everyone, thanks for tuning in. I am back with co-host Carissa.
Hey.
And we're here for another holiday horror episode. We're talking the great Canadian slasher film from 1980 or 81, 1981.
1981.
My Bloody Valentine. Yay.
Yay.
And we're going to drink a beer. This is Almanac Love Hazy IPA. 6.1%. Lush, tropical, and juicy. I spent can 23. I hope this isn't expired. I'm going to be really pissed if it is. But
it smells good.
Yeah, I got this. I was trying to find like a Valentine's Day themed one. Couldn't because Bevmo sucks. And I didn't have a lot of time. So I got this just because it said love on it.
Beautiful.
Let's see. Love Hazy IPA is a big hug in a little can.
There you go.
Double dry hopped and super dank. This little green friend says hello with charming notes of tropical mango, juicy cantaloupe, and ripe citrus. All right, I'm sold.
Oh, yeah.
Brewed with malted barley, white wheat, and flaked oats. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. This liquid embrace delivers a pillowy mouthfeel and effervescent allure that will keep you infatuated.
Who is your writer?
Yeah.
Let me hire you. I want to marry this beer now. Like, what the fuck?
That was some good writing.
That was good. All right.
All right, here we go.
Smells good. It's more muted than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's not IPA enough. I need like some bitter. I need some punch.
You guys really sold it with that paragraph. No, this is very light. It's I do get like the melony, the roundness of it. I feel like this would be more of a my style IPA because I like very like muted stuff.
Like
so
lighter, yeah.
I don't want to be like this is for like the ladies who like just like a nice like kind of fruity but kind of a little bit hoppy, but it's not very hoppy at all.
Yeah, not hoppy at all. I'm not even like catching any of the kind of fruit notes. Are you?
No, but I kind of like at the end, I'm kind of getting like the roundness of the cantaloupe. Does that make sense? Like, like how like the taste of it. But yeah, there's no like sharp fruit notes, but maybe the roundness of it.
Well, shoot. All right. Well, that's it. Love Hazy IPA. All right.
This one's for me. I like this one.
All right. Good. What was I going to say? Yeah, My Bloody Valentine. So was this your first time?
This was my first time seeing this. And I saw the remake. My girlfriend loves, I forgot the actor's name from Supernatural, but he was in the remake. And she's like, I love that movie. We're going to watch. And I was like, no. I'm watching the original. Okay. The original one. I had no idea. It was a Canadian movie.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the remake, like My Bloody Valentine 3D when it came out?
No.
Or later?
Later.
All right. Yeah, I still haven't seen that one. Like, I remember the trailers when it came out, but I just was not interested. Still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And I watched this one probably a few years ago, and I remember thinking it was fine enough, but watching it again now, I've really appreciated it way more. Like, I think this is a really good, solid slasher film, especially in like the holiday slasher genre.
Yes.
You know, which is obviously kind of important to us right now. And yeah, man, I loved it. And I think the first time I saw it may have been the edited down version, because when it first came out, I think they cut out like 9 minutes or 7 minutes, like a good amount of stuff from it, like of the gore. Which without any of the gore, like
it's kind of
this
like
movie doesn't work. So maybe that's why. Because I swore I saw it. But anyway, I got the Blu-ray. I watched the uncut version. There's literally zero reason to ever watch the edited version of this. But you saw the uncut, right?
I'm pretty sure I saw the uncut. What was like?
Did the pickaxe go through that guy's chin
yes.
and out his
okay.
eyeball?
Yes, I saw the uncut.
Like that. And that one chick gets her face put on the faucet.
Oh my God.
The water's going
yeah, okay.
That is like, there are some awesome kills in this.
This movie was, because I mean, the way it started, actually, no, the first kill. Yeah.
Just being
first
impaled.
Yeah, being impaled slowly, and then you just see that thing like poke through her shirt. I was like, oh my gosh. Insane.
But so to give the synopsis, sorry everybody, maybe I'll remember to do this next time.
The synopsis.
But so we're in this, I don't know, are they Nova Scotia or something? Somewhere in Canada. It's a mining town where like most of the guys, that's what they all do for work. And Valentine's is coming up. They decide to have a Valentine's party in the mine. But there's a killer that comes back to seek revenge on them for celebrating Valentine's, which we come to find out, we're told the story. They kind of set the stage in that they're going to have the first Valentine's dance in 20 years. Yeah. And then we learn from this old bartender that's just on everyone's case.
It's fine. He was such a dick. I'm like, he just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
This old bartender gives us the exposition, gives us the backstory about how 20 years ago, like, they're having, like, I think the town is called Valentine Bluffs.
And they were having a dance at the time.
It's
or
like
a celebration.
Yeah. They love Valentine's over here in Valentine's Bluff. And so everyone is so hyped on this party that there was like, I think 5 or 6 miners still doing some shit. Mm-hmm. And the supervisor is supposed to wait for them to get out, but they leave because they want to go to the party. And then the mine collapses because something
happened.
And like 6 weeks later, they're trying to like get everybody out, and they find one survivor, Henry Warden, I think it was, who survived off eating the bodies of the other people. And so he gets institutionalized, and then the next year he comes back. It's murders the 2 supervisors and leaves them and rips their hearts out, puts them in a heart-shaped chocolate
candy box.
Yeah, candy box. And tells the town that if they ever celebrate Valentine's again, he's going to come back for them. So that's like their whole legend. And now they're going to bring Valentine's back.
Yep,
because they
20 years. But they don't want to make a big deal about it because
You don't want no wax? Oh, my goodness.
This dog. That's funny. Oh my. So man, like this movie, it definitely has like, that very kind of cheesy, the guys are the assholes and the girl's like, oh, come on. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's very like on the nose with the time, I guess.
Yeah.
And I love movies like that. I don't think a lot of people are used to watching movies like that. I mean, obviously not anymore.
Right.
Because I was trying to watch with my friend. They're like, what the heck is this? And I was like, no, I'm like, it's going to be good. Trust me.
Like, just the way they all conduct themselves.
Yes.
All the characters. Yeah, they're kind of goofy, but I don't find the way they are, like, unbelievable. I mean, there's definitely a trope to where there's the guy Howard who's like the clown who jokes around too much and all that. And, you've got this whole group. There's the love triangle. It's like there's certain characters that exist so much in so many of these other movies, for sure, especially like the one funny guy that pranks too much.
Hey.
But none of it seems like ultra unbelievable to me. Like,
not at all.
I especially in a town like this, like they're all miners. I completely see it makes sense that like every night they're probably at the bar and they're there dicking around and this is all they have to do. I completely get that. And I do like that whole setting. I think that's an interesting
I love that
location.
Too. Yes. I think it's really, really cool that they do that.
Yeah, the location, the setting is pretty cool. This whole mining town idea. Yeah, I mean, I have been thinking, watching a lot of slasher movies lately, and just a lot of the stuff that's come out at the time. Actually, I'll digress a little bit. I was watching the Siskel and Ebert's review on this movie, as well as Siskel's review on Maniac.
Okay.
And he hates all this stuff, and in this one, and it's funny to watch it because he just talks about the whole it's another woman in danger movie. I really am sick of it. I wish they would stop making these. He's like, just another mass killer going around, chasing women, killing women, blah, 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 and nothing new. And him and Ebert talk about how, like, when Halloween came out, they praised it, and how everything comes back to just another. It's like after that, we had New Year's Evil, Prom Night, Terror Train, Friday the 13th, this, that, and now this, and just all these uninspired, remakes of the same kind of
thing.
Formula. And I do have to say, like, going back and watching a lot of horror movies, slasher movies, I've always loved Halloween. That's always been my favorite. And it's still, man, there's just something so special about that movie, the way they shot it, John Carpenter's direction, of course, Jamie Lee and the rest of the cast. But it has such a clean, refined, great, maybe it's just like the Panavision anamorphic and Dean Cundy cinematography, whatever, and the way he builds suspense slowly in a more like kind of Hitchcockian way, but that none of these other movies have. They just do not look nearly as elegant, even though they cost more. Just such a whole different vibe. And that being said, though, and I've been really trying to like put my finger on it because of projects we've been trying to work on. But that being said, I do think like My Bloody Valentine for me is at least a step above the rest. Yeah. I think the kills are great. I don't mind the characters are fine. Like, there's this whole love triangle thing. Some aspects of it are a little goofy, I guess. But
like that's in any, you know what I mean? That's just, it is what it is in those types of things,
but I really like this movie, the way it played out. I think what really goes for it too, for me, is also just the, the kills are so good. Like, again, watching the uncut, like every kill is pretty awesome, especially the bartender dude who sets up the prank for them. And this is a weird moment where he keeps like going back. He like finds it so hilarious that he set up this prank to scare the kids. Because after a couple people get murdered, they decide like, all right, we're canceling this. We're canceling it. We're done.
That was actually a kind of funny part though, because when they're like, oh, like no, Dan, they're like, but why? Like all the kids are like, they walk up and they're like, what are you talking about? Well, because the first lady, oh my god, that sweet old lady.
Oh yeah.
Oh my, in the dryer.
She gets put in the dryer. That's a pretty gnarly moment.
And they're like,
when the dryer pops open
and she's like bright red, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like because that's also like something you think about, like what would happen if you were put in a dryer?
Right.
That was, one of the thoughts, like, what would happen? Well, I guess that's what would happen, but man.
Yeah, man, that's a really good kill. That first kill, all the Henry Warden stuff, the pickaxe, and just the mining suit with the mask and all that, the hard hat is kind of a cool look, I think.
I love that.
But the old guy because after they cancel the party, they decide, or the dance, like, all right, well, let's just throw our own party at the mine.
Right.
Because we have the rec room, which, again, I think kind of makes sense.
Because they weren't around. They don't know.
Yeah,
like, that's, I would do that shit, too.
Yeah, of course you're
like, why wouldn't you?
And they're so into their beer, too. I love it. There's a lot of, like, I got to go get more beer.
More beer.
A lot of that in this movie. But yeah, when he sets up the prank, and he's like laughing, and he goes and he opens it and he laughs, but he does it like 3 more times, and that's a little weird. It's like, I guess you're trying to build the suspense, but it's just weird that this person would do that. And then of course the last time the killer is actually there, but dude, that uppercut with the pickaxe up his chin and through the eye is so awesome. And they didn't even have Tom Savini on this movie.
I'm like, that was like intense.
I didn't even pay attention to who did the special effects here, because it's really good. The special effects are great in this movie.
And because when they did the first kill, she did fall out of a dryer, and it didn't seem like I was like, oh, okay, like this is gonna be kind of not muted, but like more not friendly, like not like family friendly kills, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, like a lot of off screen kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, and it's it's like, oof. Like,
and the first impalement's like a good moment too.
That one, at the very, very beginning. when it's just like, and you just see it, but like it doesn't like poke through completely. It just like stays there.
Right,
Like,
right.
what?
They knew when they cut. One part that's kind of grueling is the, one guy gets his head put in the boiling hot dog water.
Bitch, what the fuck? And there's like, wait,
And
were
they
they
put the
like
heart
cooking a
in there?
heart in there already? Yeah.
Yeah. Because he put his body in the freezer and they found his heart.
And
in
nobody
the hot
even
dog.
like they open the thing and like the body's just sitting there, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Just misses it.
That was actually kind of funny though. Like that shit was I was just like, oh, like nobody's paying attention to all that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not to me, and again, like watching it through my like 2024 lens, there's not any scares that aren't obvious. So for me right now, it's not that suspenseful. Like the formula, it's going to go down.
Happening.
So for me, in my perspective, it's just more of like the set pieces. Like I appreciate what some of the stuff they were trying to go for. Like when that couple goes to, make out in this other room within the mine area, where they have like all the suits that kind of fall down. Like that was kind of a neat environment, and she's trying to escape and the stuff's falling. And it's another like, I'm going to go get more beer moment.
It's like, no, don't do it.
But yeah, when she gets picked, and I don't know how they accomplished this, like the shot where the dude has her picked up by the head and is walking with her. And it doesn't look like it's fake. It looks like it's actually her. So maybe they're on like, it's got to be some kind of rig.
Some sort of rig.
Yeah, but when he puts her on the faucet is such an amazing, and with the water coming out of the
And like that's the thing with these types of movies, like we know what's gonna happen, we know what it's about, we get it. Like so with these, it really is about like the weird, cool, kind of kooky, not
creative,
kooky,
just
but creative kills. Yeah,
with using the environment.
Exactly.
Like, using the pickaxe for everything would have been easy, but using it in like different ways, using the environment, boiling hot. And something about it being hot dog water just makes it so much worse.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's fucking gross. And like the fucking dead bodies in the cooler, and there's a heart in the thing, and
dryer.
Like, the dryer, with the and I'm just like, wow, like things like that. And I think also us as like creatives and people who do horror and people who like envision horror, like somebody thought like, okay, how are we gonna do this girl? Like, how are we gonna kill this girl? And I think it's like, I hate to be like, this is really cool. Like, what a great idea. But it is like a fun, kind of crazy idea.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? That's why people are going to watch these movies.
And you did. You watch it and you're like, holy shit.
And we were talking about how we're recording this on February 10th. Mm-hmm. And tonight, New Beverly is actually playing it at midnight. Like I got the Blu-ray and that's how we watched it. And you got to work tonight, but I might go check it out. It might be... I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun if it's not already sold out to see a nice like 35 millimeter print, My Bloody Valentine. So I might go check it out. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Just like fun kills. And this one has like some good gore and again, creative kills that a lot of other movies, some other movies don't quite have, even though it's not ultra suspenseful. Like, no. But again, that's just through our lens, right? Like I think if I did watch this in 1981, like
that's true. We'd be like, who is it? What's going on?
Yeah, when they do go down to the mine and it's dark, and of course they all kind of slowly split up because they want to go and do their couples thing.
Yeah, like I mean, you're right. We've had 40 years of like analyzing horror movies to be like, oh, well, all the tropes. Like now we know the tropes. Now we have the tropes. But 40 years ago, we wouldn't, Yeah. So I guess that's actually, I never really thought about it that way. But you are 100% right. This was probably fucking terrifying for some people back in the day. As opposed to us sitting here and being like, wow, that's cool, Well,
I bet it wasn't. And what's unfortunate is they cut everything out. So I wonder if that has a lot to do why, because I don't think this movie is like that greatly revered. Like I feel like it's not in the pantheon of horror classics that everybody talks about. Like it never achieved like Friday the 13th status.
Oh yeah, no.
Obviously never achieved Halloween status.
No.
But I wonder had they not cut it down like 9 minutes or whatever it was. That's a lot of time.
That is a lot of intense stuff.
Even if it's 5 minutes, and you're talking only like kills and special
effects. Which is crazy because I mean, listen, like kills happen in like 5 seconds. If that's like what it is, so that's like pretty intense, like a good amount of time cut.
So I wonder had that stuff stuck at the time, if we would look back on this movie a bit differently, like if it would have maybe pushed things a little further, you know. But who knows? I mean, it is what it is right now.
Do you think they would have because those types of kills, did they have, a lot of kills like that? Well, yeah, no, they did. They did. This is when all that shit was going on. Do you think they were more nervous about it being kind of labeled like a video nasty-ish almost by showing too much?
Maybe. I think it was just more the gore, you know? Because even if we look at Halloween, not a gory movie at all. Yeah. It's all in the suspense. It's all in the build up, driving it out. I feel like Friday the 13th, even the first one is when it started to get a little more creative, the arrow through Kevin Bacon's chest and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know? The sudden, almost kind of psycho-esque kill of that first chick that you think's going to be the main character, and then she gets a hatchet to the neck or the machete to the neck or whatever.
Yeah.
But this one, yeah, because you get the impaling, you get the faucet thing, you get just alone the pickaxe through the face.
That's intense.
Crazy. Yeah. And later when he gets that one dude, Hollis, the big dude, I love that character. He's just kind of jolly. Yeah, Hollis,
I liked him too.
He gets fucked up real bad with the nail gun through the head.
That
twice.
Was oh my god.
That was kind of disturbing, and he just kind of stumbling off.
That was awful.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. So I feel like a lot of these other movies don't have anything quite like that. You know?
No, I don't think so either.
Was there any moment in here that you found suspenseful in any?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie because I did watch the remake, and I think that's what kind of takes away from the magic of watching movies for the first time or not having the idea of what the movie is, because then we're just sitting calculating, and I'm that awful person that you don't want to watch a movie with. I'm I know what's gonna happen. Next.
You knew
I know what's gonna happen next.
Twist reveal. And
look who it. You know what I mean? And I think that kind of takes away, but I appreciate it all for what it was, because I knew what was going to happen. And that fucking sucks. That sucks about tropes, and that sucks about
right.
Well,
so what did you feel that you had, because there is a end reveal of who the killer is, right? And that's something is kind of set up and waiting for it.
Okay,
so did you feel you had that?
No, because not at all, because that was just weird. That came out of nowhere.
That it was Axel.
yeah, it was just what the fuck? And then when they showed, oh my gosh.
Because I feel like they more so set it up it might be TJ, the dude who just came back from California.
Yeah. I mean, and that's actually 100% what they did. But I had no idea. And I was who the Axel guy? I did not. I was not expecting that. But I kind of... No, I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
I wasn't. I wasn't at all.
So did you feel at any point that you had anyone as a suspect?
No, I didn't. And I think that's how they did that really well, because it's just well, who would it be? You know? They did do that really well.
Yeah, I even forgot. Even seeing it the second time, I was is it Axel or is it TJ? I didn't even remember.
You didn't remember.
I was so I guess that is a job well done. Because they don't do a whole lot to set him up
for anything.
To be or even, again, maybe TJ at the most, but I feel like there's not really any red herrings or anyone where they're obviously trying to direct you a certain path.
Yeah.
Which is good, because to me, more often than not, it's when you see that, it's well, now I know it's not you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's it's obviously not you. But yeah, it was kind of crazy at the end when... another good kill is when they're climbing up the ladder, and that dude Howard, because he left the girls and ran off on his own.
Motherfucker.
And when he drops down and is hanging, but then the body falls off.
Yeah. I was what in the hell?
And for some reason, they climbed up all this way, and then they decide because of that to go back down. I guess they're assuming he's up there now, but it's
you're all what are you doing?
You're almost there. Yeah, just keep going.
What are you doing? But yeah, I mean. Oh wait, and then the reason that Axel is a kill is because his dad was
one of the supervisors and
killed,
witnessed it
by the thing. Yeah,
it is creepy when it ends where they fight and the place collapses on them. Meanwhile, the cops find their way in, and when she grabs his hand and then he's cutting it off on the other side, and she pulls it, and then it is creepy when he runs off Harry Warden's coming or whatever the hell he says, and he's cackling.
Yeah.
I'll be back. All that shit.
You fucking lost it. This was a good one. This is a good themed movie, I think.
You little holiday horror movie.
I love holiday horror movies.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I appreciated it way more the second time around. Even though I just watched this like 2-3 days ago, I think I will go see it in the theater. It'll be fun. Like the crowd's gonna be a good time.
Of course. I mean, and Valentine's Day is 4 days. I'm like, this is great.
But yeah, anyone who hasn't, well, hopefully you've seen it because we just ruined everything. But
oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't.
But it's a great movie. You should watch it on Valentine's Day with your loved ones.
Yeah.
Have a hot dog. Watch a scary movie. Eat some chocolates out of a box.
And what's that Canadian beer? That Moose Roll or whatever. That Canadian beer.
Or like have a nice little box of chocolate, and then everybody just he's like, oh, there's a heart. And that's the one thing at the beginning when when they're like have the heart. There's a heart, and they're like, he's back. Well, we can't tell anybody. And they're like trying to keep everything a secret. Like, oh, we'll just say she died of a heart attack. Like, we can't tell anybody. And I'm like, if you guys really think a killer is back in town, then what the fuck are you doing? Small time cops, baby. I love it.
Yeah, dang, My Bloody Valentine. Yeah, I appreciate it. I really like it. I think it's fun.
Watch the original.
Which I guess is a weird thing to say, but it is what it is.
It is fun, but that's the thing. It is fun and nothing and I feel like this movie, it's not very even when he's like running and they have like this song because didn't they have a song for
at the end? Yeah,
the song for the
ballad of Harry Warden.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, yes. So it's like I don't know. It's fun. It's like a fun movie.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be scared.
Yeah,
you're not gonna go to bed.
If you're
scared.
just a good horror fan and you like some nice special effects and just a good old-fashioned slasher movie. It's a good one. It's a good one for sure.
It is.
I mean, I think I like it more than Friday the 13th for sure. Like, I'll put it above that.
I would too because I mean, honestly, I'm not in my opinion, I'm not really into like the whole sexy naked kills running around the woods naked. You know what I mean?
That's right. This movie doesn't really.
No, they don't have much of that at all. So I think that's why too. I'm like, oh, like this, like it's a good old Canadian friendly fun.
They knew how to do it, man. I mean, Black Christmas was a Canadian film too.
I didn't see that's the thing.
Black Christmas. So I watch it every year, and more, man, I just get so inspired by that. Like, I wish Bob Clark did at least one more horror films, because every time I go back to it, I'm like, this movie is just so well directed. It's fucking crazy.
It's so good. I think the only reason I watched that one, and it's funny because I never really did old school movies, not even old school, but old school movies. Mm-hmm. But until you start talking about it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, and I think it's more because these movies make you feel more like you're there with them, so it's harder to watch, you know, other than what I'm into, which is kind of supernatural horror. So it's whatever, right. But slashers and shit, and especially things like that where you get a lot of POVs and you get a lot in it, and it just feels very it's scary. Yeah, it's fucking scary, and it makes you feel a certain. Whoa.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, how Halloween is very, very clearly a level beyond everybody else, and for good reason. And that's why that movie is what it is, even to this day. But Black Christmas, which predates Halloween, doesn't look aesthetically isn't as elegant, but it's just so, I don't know, it's so well directed. That's all I can say. Every aspect of it. And every year I watch it, I'm always blown away, which is saying a lot, because when you've seen a movie so many times, only the absolute best of the best really stick out in that way. Yeah. And that one even sticks out to me more than Halloween in that regard of how he combines a lot of good humor, but suspense and just angles and lighting and where he chooses to put the camera, how he chooses to again, just overall direction. I can't even dig into it.
It's wild because you're there's no better way that you could have done this. It's perfect. It's perfect,
Yeah, perfect movie. But yeah, shit. I think that's a wrap on My Bloody Valentine. Yeah. Shit. All right. Well, thanks for joining me again, and we'll find another movie to talk about soon.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to the Drinks and a Movie podcast. You can now find us on Instagram at Drinks and a Movie Pod, where we'll be posting photos from all the various films that we discuss. You can also email us at drinksandamoviepod@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and thank you for listening.